So I had this culture shock figured out. Welcome guys to my channel, Postcard Eyes Unfiltered. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Your subscription actually will help me, become better and not feel like this is a chore or this is still the hobby that I wanted it to be, because at the moment it's a hobby for me. There is no pressure. But when obviously the subscribers numbers go up, I might be getting a little bit of pressure to become better. Anyway, let's just get into today's culture shock. It is a culture shock in that it's a difference as to what I have, known it to be coming from my home country, Nigeria. I'm talking about tax. It is tax time here in Australia, and every one of us, it is actually mandatory for you to do your tax return. And failure to do so, you might actually get fined. And guess what? The ATO would come knocking on your door, letting you know that you're owing them, or they probably won't tell you if they're owing you, but when you owe them, you're gonna know about it. I grew up, I think, again, for the most part of my adult life in Nigeria, I didn't really get to pay tax, and that was because I was self-employed, so I had my own business. And I know saying this out loud, someone's gonna be coming knocking on my door. Yeah, and so as a small business owner, there was a threshold to which you can be taxed, and I think that was probably if your business exceeded 1 million naira. I'm not sure now, and I will categorically say that my business at the time wasn't up to 1 million naira. Yes, anyway, and that was it. So you didn't have to pay or declare whatever income you were getting at the time. And again, I think I was younger, so for me, managing my small business was enough. And so having the extra pressure of paying any extra, along with the cost that comes with doing a business or running a business in Nigeria. If you don't know about it, just go. There's a Nigerian effect that should be studied. And so yeah, my mom had a personal business, was a sole trader, and I don't think her business again got to the threshold of where you were declaring or being mandated to declare income. And I don't think again it was mandatory to declare whatever earnings you make. And I don't know if that has changed at the present time, but I don't think my mom ever filed any tax return, or if she was made to ever do tax return. However, though, every year I know she probably get like 20 local tax rogue coming to collect whatever they felt was owed them. You had people coming from this local government saying your kiosk is whatever, situated in the wrong place, you have to pay this. There were these people that will come and say, for even having this kiosk here, you have to pay. So she did pay her fair share of I don't know if I should call them tax, but she did pay her fair share of bills that were not necessarily receipted for. Like, she never got a receipt for any of this collections or mandatory or whatever random collections that she was charged for. That was a nightmare, because when they come, sometimes you have to run. I remember my mom running a few times. She did run. She ran into the bush, closed her kiosk so that they wouldn't see her, and then obviously she wouldn't be made to pay anything. But guess what? Those guys were relentless. They would keep coming until they get something off you. So I just felt that was not exactly taxing. It was more extortion, because the people that will come today will be a different set of people that will come tomorrow, asking you for literally the same thing. And so yeah, so in that instance, I would say she did pay, despite the fact that it wasn't documented or there wasn't any receipt to say or state that she paid for most of these things. And failure to pay will see you losing most of your goods. Like, oftentimes they would seize some of her goods and take it to their office and tell you have to come to their office to collect it. And when you go to the office, it's a whole other story. They are literally going to be dragging you and telling you, for the cost of bringing those things to their office, you have to pay that first before paying whatever fine you are owed, or you're owing, or they're owed. So again, in that regards, it was non-regulated system of should I say extortion, or collecting, or council rates, or collecting money off of poor people who were just trying to survive. And so I got here, and the first year I was struggling to gain employment, but I did have a fair bit of some saved that I brought in, and I didn't know that I needed to declare that. I think it took 3 years for me to find out that the taxman knew about that and knew that I earned some interest on it, and I had to pay back, or I had to declare it, which I eventually did. And yeah, the system is sort of, it's not devoid of corruption, it's not devoid of people trying to rot the system or trying to find loopholes. It relies on self-reporting. For a self-employed person, or self-employed or business owner, you have to report your earnings. But guess what? If you do not report the actual income, you can be audited based on the amount of transactions that has gone into your business account, and they find you. They just only follow the money trail and they get you. So for me, the curious thing was the fact that for every tax return that I do, I get a receipt from the ATO, which is term for the Australian Tax Office, that tells you the amount of tax you paid and what your tax it has gone into, or what your tax was used for. So I think the biggest bill that Australia as a nation has is welfare, which of course rightly so. And so they just tell you, this is your tax, the tax you pay, the tax burden for this year. So percentage went to welfare, so percentage went to Australia's debt, so percentage went to the health, so percentage went to, they list everything to the part that they even donate money to other countries. A certain percentage of your tax actually goes in there. Your tax funds the road repairs and every project that is going to be done, or that was done that year. Your tax contributed in some way to that, and that is just the accountability of it all. It is amazing to know that your income, your hard-earned income, despite the fact that you're obligated to pay those in whatever revenue as tax, it's not in a vacuum, so there's an explanation for where your money, or whatever you paid, where it's going to. And that makes it all the better, in that you're not just, oh my god, I'm paying this tax, but it gives you a feeling of, I have contributed to something. And I love that. I hope Nigeria can maybe incorporate this and just make people feel responsible, make people feel that there's an accountability from the government, despite all of this revenue generation forms or revenue generation schemes that that takes place. There is a certain level of accountability on the taxpayer that would make them want to do more, or that will make them want to be honest, and that will make them feel that whatever they're contributing is actually being used the right way. And that's it, guys. My culture shock: tax returns and taxable income, as well as what you pay and what it's being used for. Until the next time where I come to give you some fun upload, stay safe. Bye for now.